Any criminal crime don't pay. Seeing the crazy little Eggman's face. Don't let it hit you more. 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 Don't let it get 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 you more. Don't let it hit 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 you more. Don't let it get 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 you more. Don't let it get
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. Oh, there's the cat. You coming in? Don't look at the light. Alright. If you can hear me, I will... One sec. Shush. What we'll do... There we go. Hello. And, you're so typical, cat. I get everything set up and then you're instantly off camera. Alright. So I'll have to adjust it slightly. There we go. But now I'm... All right. Okay. Finally, push it up a little bit more. There we go. There we go. All right, just adjust my chair. How are we doing? I'm gonna back myself up a bit. Okay, let me check the chat. Alright. Yeah, a STEVEM stream on a Sunday. What a surprise. Songs always from the Chill Sonic collection. I have a doubt. Does your live videos get saved in the channel? And I notice you haven't been uploaded into your second channel. Cause, the streams get uploaded to my like Patreon. I have like a playlist. I don't tend to upload them anywhere else. They're just like, you know, the archives are for those who donate. $1 get you all the archive. No, Cameron, it's not a Pokemon game. Yeah, how is everyone doing? Let me just try and catch up. Let's see. How's it going, Doji? And United States, Canada, India. We've got people from all over. Uh, I'm very close to finishing a video. That's where I'm at. Wait a minute. I'm gonna stop this for a second. Yeah. All right. I'm very close to finishing a video, but I'm having to. I set a stream up today for this exact time, and that's where we're at. So I said I'd do it. Oh. So yeah, I'm gonna stream for a bit, but I'm in the middle of just finishing the final touches on stuff. Basically, I have like one little bit to do for the uncensored version, which is like a Patreon thing. I thought I'd have finished it by now, but it was more complicated than I thought. So hopefully I finish this stream in a couple hours. I finish that by the end of the day, export that, get that connected to the that version, export the whole uncensored version, upload that, and then tomorrow I'm going to spend all day adding like citations, little numbers and citations to the final video, checking it's all okay. And then the public version will come out in a couple of days after, I guess. And we're finally there. We're almost there. Almost at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully the whole thing will be finished by tomorrow, and I'll upload it in a couple of days after. So that's where I'm at. Alright. Venezuela too. Ooh, South Africa. Well, we're getting people from all over. Yeah, my cat tends to be a recurring character in all the streams. She never leaves. I just have a better like stand now, so she can be more on screen than just a shouting behind the scene. But she's always here. Isn't that right? Wait, you're still on the camera, right? Just. I've got a tail. God, you're always moving too much. Let me see if I can adjust again. What am I adjusting to? Maybe turn it a bit more. Might literally have to like lower it. Oh, God damn it! Now I'm cut off a bit. That ain't gonna work. Nope. You can have the leg. That's all we're gonna get from her. Good cat. You make it the most awkward thing possible. Like it's almost like you know where the camera's pointing, so you try and point away from it. It's impressive. It really is. She's very good at this. All right. Let's grab my water for a second. Now we're all here. Besides making videos, what else have I been up to? Oh, my dear friend. Well, I've been making videos mainly. I'm trying to think. And I saw my nephew a couple of days ago. Sometimes his family come over. He got really into my nephew's gotten really into the Bully Maguire clips. That was my fault mainly, but like I mean, he loves Spider-Man so much. I thought he'd love those. But yeah, he's really into the Family Feud and Bully Maguire clip, where it's actually a pretty impressive version of it because it's like very highly edited. So like the idea is that Maguire goes onto like Family Feud and they just like have a selection of questions that he answers using his classic lines. Yeah, it's very well edited. Because I'm always looking at these things like, oh wow, that must have been very difficult. Because some of the masking on these Bully Maguire clips not always the greatest. Like they tend to, sometimes it's a little bit iffy. But you know, when someone's really got it down, you gotta be impressed. How's it going, Spence? All right. I'm just gonna readjust a little bit. Are we still on the camera? Oh, God, I'm looking. How? If I go. Wait a minute. I think I'm going to have to point it up a little bit because I'm getting chopped. Oh, okay, cat's not on it anymore. Alright, let's try and find an even spot between the two. Maybe if I get in much closer. Wait. Okay. Actually, I wonder. Well, moving it too much. Okay, that will have to do for now. I'm in shot. I'm in shot. Where were we? Alright, I'm glad you're doing good, Spence. I'm glad you're doing good. Yeah, I'm culturing my nephew. Alright, so here's the debate with him, Cameron. My nephew was obviously born into this generation of Marvel films, so whenever we talk about Spider-Man, it's always that he thinks Tom Holland's the best one. Foolish decision, I know, but like he is young, so I'll give him. Maybe he'll change his mind as he gets older. But I guess that's his Spider-Man. That's the Spider-Man that he's growing up with, and I don't think there's anything wrong with Tom. I just don't think he's been given the most Spider-Man appropriate material to work with. This movie's always feel a bit more like trust fund kid goes on vacation than they do actually Spider-Man situations. Maybe because he's like a footnote in the Marvel Cinematic Universe instead of being like, you know, a character with his own sort of situations to be in. I suppose that could all change. But yeah, I mean, he likes pizza time. He knows the pizza time. He knows Maguire. He knows Maguire very well at this point. But yeah, this is usually how the conversation goes between us two. He'll be like, my favorite Spider-Man is Tom Holland. I'm like, okay, well, you know, mine is obviously Tobey Maguire, and the fight goes from that. Well, you know, as much as it can do with a 7-year-old. But yeah, outside of that, you know, I've been doing a lot of editing with this new video, obviously, and you know, been trying to get out a bit more, doing a bit more exercise here and there, just to sort of keep me going. It's usually just to try and keep my stress down, really. Go outside, take a bit of a walk, you know, listen to my podcasts or whatever. And God knows what else happens. Every day seems to blur together a little bit. But you know, I'm trying to make the best of it. We've been watching a lot of Sopranos. That's the my outside anime thing. This is, you know, the one un-anime thing that I have to focus on my days. But I did actually buy a bunch of or I'm planning to buy a bunch of stuff for later video ideas. I saw that Patlabor, the complete collection of Patlabor, or Patlabor? I'm guessing it's Patlabor. Patlabor, that's like on sale right now. It may be from America, but I recently got my PS3. Let's just say my PS3 now plays region free. So I've been thinking about getting that. I also recently bought a new wire for my headphones. My headphone wire seems to be went bunk, which is annoying because I bought that like 8 months ago, and that was for my it was like a replacement for another wire. I seem to have a terrible luck with wires and headphones, but a lot cheaper to buy a new wire than a whole headphone, right? So I've bought a new wire for the headphones, which I'm hoping will last longer than this one has. We'll see. But I got some insurance on this one. So the new wire I've got has like 3-year warranty. So like I'm not losing a wire anytime soon. With it, I bought a couple other things. I bought the Holy Mountain. You know, we're getting to that point now where I might be able to go see friends again. Maybe, I don't know, it's getting there. I mean, I'm vaccinated once, but maybe if my other friend gets vaccinated, I might be able to go see and hang out. And I think Holy Mountain would be a very funny film to watch with him. I also bought, what's it called? Hannah. Is it? God, I never can say this right. Is it Hanbei Renmei? Is that Hanbei Renmei? Renmei? Hanbane. Haibane Renmei. Haibane Renmei. Haibane Renmei. There you go. I bought that one because I saw it was the DVD and it had there's some special features on it. I thought I'd grab it because in the future I thought it'd be a good idea to I have this idea in the future about doing like a Nakamura month with like Lane and Ghost Hound and Kino and like that, hopefully that fourth one, the one that they're planning, that they're still trying to make but they haven't been able to finish yet for like almost 2 decades now. If they ever actually finally finish it, like doing those, but then I thought they'd be like Renmei. I've got it wrong again, haven't I? Yeah. So Renmei would be a nice way to introduce the topic, I think. And outside of that, looking to get some more Nausicaa stuff for the next video. 2 videos ahead now. 2 ahead. Yeah, but this new video that's coming out probably next week. Very close to being finished. I finished part 4 recently. I put it on my Patreon, Majiggy. Wait, oh god. I actually forgot. 1 second, everyone. I've absolutely forgotten to share the stream. Like an absolute joker. I should share this stream on like Twitter and places. 1 second, everyone. Oh yeah, happy 69k's live stream. There we go. Yeah, we just hit 69k, everyone. We hit the funny number. We hit the funny number. Isn't that great? Yeah. So I gotta share this around for a second before I forget. Stream now. Yeah. Okay. Remove that one. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, I've done the sharing. I shared the link now. Let's see. Oh, I'm in shot. Cat's kind of in shot. Oh, you stupid cat. Hair's slowly growing back a little bit, but it's still not enough yet. But you know, a couple weeks time, be alright. Yeah. So what are people saying? I mean, I think a lot of these Spider-Man actors haven't really been given a lot of material to work with. I mean, Andrew seems like a nice guy. I don't think his version of the character was what I really wanted from Spider-Man, but that's probably more on the scripts. I think that Andrew would have probably been a fine Spider-Man given like more interesting material, maybe. I don't know. The way they made him play him, I wasn't huge on because, you know, in the first film they kind of play him as like a really awkward, mumble-mouthed like dork. And that's kind of a way you could play Peter Parker. But in the second film, he's basically just like Mark Wahlberg. They've really flipped him. He's kind of like cocky asshole at that point. And at that moment, I'm like, well, where's the Peter Parker in this? So yeah, there was a real jump between the characterization. But I don't know. I'm not against seeing. I mean, my nephew's probably going to want to watch the new Spider-Man film. Maybe I'll go see it with him. I don't know. But I don't. That's a long time in the works. But you know, seeing Toby come back, I'll watch whatever the terrible new Spider-Man film is, as long as Toby's in it. I saw that collection. I'm debating that or the Berserk Deluxe Edition. I'm not sure what the Berserk Deluxe Edition comes from. Is that the TV show? It might be cool. I'm not sure what that comes with. I might do a video on Pat Labor one day, so I thought having the whole collection would be good, just in case there's any extras or specials on it. I do have a couple old, like, Manga UK releases of the DVDs from back in the day of the first 2 movies, but I have nothing else. I would love a video about Pat Labor, that go beside Pet Labor 2. Yeah, I mean, maybe one day we'll go through the whole thing. I don't know. We'll see. Pat Labor I think Pat Labor was an original series for anime, wasn't it? I mean, it's a TV show, an OVA, and a couple movies, and then some live action stuff. Like, it's a whole multimedia franchise. Hi, Monte Cristo. Yeah, I've watched the first 2 seasons of Castlevania. I was not exactly hot on the first one. I think it's okay. I thought the second series was a lot better in the first half, but I think the second side of the Castlevania series kind of, I don't know, I think it fell apart a little bit when like, the pacing kind of went all over the place. I really didn't like the ending. I thought the way they dealt with Dracula in the end was very ham-fisted. Just like embarrassingly so, and I don't remember maybe people said that. I didn't look too many reviews, but just like the idea of like, it was basically just Alucard. It wasn't the Belmonts actually killing Dracula, which was you know, completely against the whole thing of, you know, the series, but okay. And you know, it was just like a big Dragon Ball Z fight between Alucard and Dracula, and it ends with like them in a fucking child's bedroom. That's like a really stereotypical child's bedroom. I was like, this is so ridiculous. And I guess, you know, it's Castlevania, but I mean, come on. Really? Is that really how we have to do this? I didn't watch season 3 or 4. I just, not like I didn't want to. I just didn't really find the time, or I wasn't that invested. But hearing they're going to do Richter Belmont, I'm very interested in that. So maybe at one point I will catch the rest of it. But, you know, it seems like it has its ups and downs. But, you know, maybe when we get to the actual proper Castlevania stuff, I'll be more invested. Like, one of the coolest parts of season 2 with me was seeing that whole Leon. They had like a whole big old painting of Leon, and I was like, holy shit, are we going to get into the Leon Beaumont stuff? That would make a great animated, like, short, like, movie or OVA, like, just a thing, because Leon's story is, like, really interesting, and I think the way it's handled in the original game is great. Very camp, like, very over the top and camp, but I think it works. I just don't know if that would transfer the way they're doing it now. They're a bit more snide and snarky. But if they could actually play up the maximum camp levels of Leon Beaumont, I'd watch that. Oh god, I'm drowning in my mouth. I'm dying, everyone. All right, one second, everyone. But I'm gonna change the name of the stream because I think it'd be funny. Happy 69K celebration. Stream. Alright, there we go. I'm changing the name of the stream now. Well, if we're going to do the 69K, let's do it. Happy 69K celebration stream. Wait, is that English? Is that actually, is that a sentence? Happy 69K celebration stream. Wait, maybe that shouldn't be in brackets. Maybe it should just be... Alright, suggestions in the chat. Is Happy 69K celebration stream the best title we could have, or is there a funnier title I could make? How's it going, Ava? Yeah, thanks. I like this jacket. My friend bought it for me. So, very funny jacket. This is apparently in Chinese characters. This says Dong, so that's Dong and Dong. It's the it's one of the clans in Yakuza, the one that Kazu, Kiryu is Kiryu's clan. I forget the name of it, but apparently the Chinese symbol is Dong. Very epic for my 69K celebration stream. Yeah, so Pat Labor is basically everything. I'm pretty sure it was a multimedia franchise from the beginning. Do people talk about Pat Labor 2 more than the rest? I'm not really even sure. I know that is kind of a different tone, because I've seen 2. It's a little bit more dour, but, like, you know, it's still part of the series. Very much still part of the ecosphere. Maybe that gets more play because it's kind of like proto Ghost in the Shell aesthetically and design-wise. But yeah, I'd want to talk about the whole stuff, like the whole thing. I very much like the tone of the first movie. Yeah, 69K, everyone. That must be some spicy water. Yeah, that water is so spicy, guys. Join our 69K followers. I don't want to get banned from usual. I gotta be careful with my. I gotta be careful with my titling there. Join our 69K followers. I don't know. Thank you, Gustavo. Yeah, it's a good jacket. My friend bought it for me. Volcano? The little cat in the corner here is my cat. This is Squeak. She's very loud, but she's asleep now, so she's not as loud as usual. But she's always on the camera somewhere. But like she's always making it difficult for me. I'm trying to get her in shot, and it will cut my head off because she chooses the worst places on the bed to sleep. But now I've got the adjustable I bought an adjustable like what do you call it, tripod. This one's much better for like adjusting, so I can move it around. But like she's still making it the most difficult ever to actually get her on the in shot. Wait, if I go back, do I? Oh god. I'm trying to think. If I go back, I'm going way out of shot. She's mostly in there. Alright. Let's stop the spicy water because I'm gonna drown if I. Yeah, where we yeah, I'm getting lost again. Alright. But yeah, thanks for everyone for joining me on my 69k celebration stream. Very funny number. Yeah, she's sweet and loud. She's kind of annoying. But yeah. Pet labor? Oh, Pet labor would be a nice knockoff name. Yeah, when they ride giant cats. Will I check out Sunny Boy? Yeah, I probably will. I was meaning to see, here's the problem, right? I was meaning to watch the stream because Funimation had like done their live stream for the show, but as typical with those sort of like real time like preview things, it was like 3 minutes in when I started watching the stream, and I was like, oh, okay, I'd like to watch it from the beginning. So I was like, I'll wait for it to finish it, doing the whole thing, and then I'll watch it. And then I forgot about it, and it was only up for 24 hours. So now I think it's gone. So I'd have to find somewhere else to watch it. Probably on one of those streaming sites. But yeah, I'll probably watch Sunny Boy just to see. I mean, it's probably like the people behind it's like a really interesting gang of people. Wait a minute, I'm gonna retweet that one. There we go. Very funny. Yeah, I was just retweeting the thing because I've made it part of a comment stream. There we go. There we go. Right. Now what was I? Yeah, I'll probably check out Sunny Boy when it's like finished. How's it going, Grim Reaper the Greg? But yeah, I guess I should give a little update for a second for everyone coming in. So we are like a couple days away from my new video. It's going to be 1 hour and 7 minutes long. It's fucking long. And hopefully it'll get some play. It's lucky, the period of time that I'm releasing it is kind of lucky. Hopefully it'll be a good moment. Because Hazel's video, another content creator, Hazel, she made a video. What was it? She made a video on Alphen Lead, and I've been making this video. The video I'm doing on it was a request video about the whole studio of Arms who made Alphen Lead. That's probably their biggest title over here in the Western area, like at least name brand wise. Probably not in Japan. But yeah, so she'd made a video about Alphen Lead very recently, and that one has kept growing. And I think yesterday Super Eye Patch Wolf had gave a shout out to that video, so I'm hoping that I can latch on to the video and get some of the traction off it by also having a video with Alphen Lead in the title. But I'm talking about the whole history of Arms. But there's a good big old portion, part 2 of the video. I've been releasing it in parts. Today I uploaded part 4, and a little bit later today I'm going to release the full uncensored version of the whole video without citations on my Patreon for $1 and up, maybe. I guess in a couple of days it'll be $1 and up. But yeah, everyone can have access to the uncensored version because I've tried to keep it safe for, well, I've tried to keep it as safe for work as possible so it doesn't get like adult only striked, which is like, you know, a dead that will kill it in the algorithm and all that shit and recommendations. So I'm trying my hardest that the version that goes public is as safe as it can be within the topic range that we're talking about, which, you know, is kind of, well, Arms used to make hentai, so like there's a lot of lewd shit in there. And even after that, they made a lot of ecchi shows. So we'll be talking about it all. Or as much as I can do. Like, we're not going through literally every show, like, one at a time. I'm trying to, like, I'm doing, like, it's like an overview. Like, we're going through it, and I'm kind of going through, like, different periods of time in their history and what was going on in that thing, and talking about specific titles that I think I can. You know, it's 1 hour and 7 minutes, baby. We're talking about a lot. There's a lot of... They did so much stuff. Oh my god. Alright, now where were we at? Whatever you call it, I'm happy for you. Love your videos, and I picked up so many new titles. Ah, thank you very much, Ava. Eva? Ava? It'd be Ava, right? Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused in my own head. Yeah, I hope I can make it to 169. That would be like the sex number plus one. Well, I know, good luck with it, I guess. I'm hoping to do some really big videos coming up. So if they do really well, it's going to be fine, I guess. But, like, I've said it before a couple of times. I'd like to focus on making, like, bigger, longer, more, like, wild videos. But, you know, that's a bit of a dangerous game with YouTube. So we'll see how it goes for the next... I have 3 videos planned, maybe 4. 3 videos planned ahead of this current one, so I guess maybe 5 videos. I have the next 5 videos planned out, and after that, when those are all finished, I'll see how it went, and if I have to adjust my future plans, I guess, or not. But it will depend on sponsorships and how many numbers we do consistently, and all that other wild stuff that YouTube expects. But, you know, I'm gonna have to be optimistic and try my best, basically. Yeah, I like the Hazel channel. Of course, I do also like the Hazel Never Hazel Never Talks channel too. You should all check out Hazel Never Talks. Was it Hazel? Never. Wait, that. God damn it! I'm losing my mind there. I'm not. I should know her. Is that the actual handle on it nowadays? Let me double check this. I don't want to say things wrong. Yeah. Yeah, it is Hazel. Yeah, everyone check out Hazel Never Talks as well. She's cool too. Yeah, the other Hazel, the other Hazel channel, just called Hazel, is also I think it's a pretty interesting channel. I haven't checked out a lot of the work, but I appreciate what she does. Monte Cristo, a new mecha anime called 89. I think there is a new anime called 89. I don't know anything about it because I don't keep up with the modern trends, I'm afraid. Not necessarily because I don't want to, I just don't have time most of the time to check out all the newest series. I'm always very behind. But yeah, I've heard something about this show. Volcano. I did see the new Chainsaw Man trailer though today, because I know someone who told me they were working on. Well, they alluded to that they were they couldn't say it at the time, but they alluded that they were working on Chainsaw Man because they got a contract with Mappa, a fan of the show, and I sent them a message earlier today being like, hey, the trailer looks really fucking cool, and I hope that everything was going all right for them. So well, I hope it is going. I'm generally hoping that is going really well for them, and that Chainsaw Man. I mean, I know Chainsaw Man's going to be a huge fucking success. The manga's already popping. I've seen the numbers, even in like England. I think that a couple of the Chainsaw Man mangas are doing quite well. All right, let's get into this though, because this really pisses me off. This is rant time. Okay, Chainsaw Man, right? So the localizations of Chainsaw Man. I don't know if I can do this without it would be difficult, but I guess the American or Viz covers for Chainsaw Man are, how do I even put this? They have bastardized the type on the Chainsaw Man English covers. And it's so annoying because the German covers already fixed this issue. Like, what they've done is because the logo for Chainsaw Man is it is a right angle. So it goes, Chainsaw Man, something like that, right? But the way they've done it in English is they've just made it a straight line. It just says Chainsaw Man, just one line. It doesn't split between Chainsaw and Man to make the angle, but all the covers are designed with that like logo motif in mind. So there's a bunch of empty space on all the covers now because they've turned it into a really dodgy, just straight up lined like logo. It looks bad, and I hope they fix it in the future, but like it's so annoying. Right. Let me just I need to chainsaw. I'm going to show you all the German cover so you know what it should look like. All right. How am I going to do this? All right. So what I'm going to do on the desktop, I'm going to save this image, and I'm going to go into my thing here. I'm going to grab and God, this is too elaborate even for me. But all right, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to. Okay, and I'm going to find this name. Where'd I put it? So first things first, I'm going to show you all the Japanese color. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put it over here in this nice spot of empty space I have. Here is the Japanese cover. Very cool. Look at that font. So it says, was that chi? So chi. God, my Japanese is too bad for this. Chi. So that chi en. Is that chi en? How the fuck are they doing it? All right, I don't want to do it. I'm too fucking rusty to be doing this, but I'm pretty sure that's katakana, isn't it? Chin. I know it's a funny font too, and it's covered in blood. All right, so I'm not going to pretend I'm going to be fucking reading some shit on this thing. I can't read, guys. Spoiler alert: I can't read, not even English. So all right, here's the first one. Cool looking font, cool looking cover. It's all really cool. I got nothing but nice words to say about this version. Now, here is going to be the American version. All right, now let me grab it. So, browse again. Oh, okay, this one's really big for some reason. All right, see, it's even though it's big, I'm gonna put these next to each other. So for not only have they like changed the color palette for some stupid reason, they've made it really pastel. I don't know why. I guess because they've changed the logo to be more pastel, so they're trying to make it match. But just what have they done? There's this empty space on the right, the right hand side now. They've made it less vibrant. They've this chainsaw because they wanted to make it look like a chainsaw. But they've just destroyed the composition. They've destroyed it. They've destroyed the contrast between the figures and the strong greens. Now they just kind of like blur together. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. And now I can show you what, if I can find it, I'm going to find the German version, which then, the German version, at least I think this is the German one, it's one of the European countries' versions, they fixed this problem easily. Easily. It's just inconceivable. And no one, I doubt anyone cares but me, but this is just the stuff, like, I don't know, maybe it's because I, X illustration, graphic design, all that. Like, look at this. Now we just put that here. This sort of cover was already finished. They'd already done this. They could have just borrowed it, but they had to use that logo instead. So we go, boop, 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 boop. So it's just like, this is fine. This is just Chainsaw Man, like that's fine. Like, it's a little compromised in comparison, but it's fine. This is basically the same cover, basically the same idea. Blah, 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 blah. That, just, I don't know. It says Chainsaw Man inside an actual straight piss yellow chainsaw. Yeah, not good. Yeah, the English look. Thank you. The English logo is kind of jank, and yet they fixed this. Other countries have already fixed this. The American cover makes it look like a strongman lumberjack competition. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing is, all right, camera. I'll put it like this. I don't know if this is Viz's fault. If this is a deadline problem. This could actually be a Japanese problem. It could be that like. This is the local that it might be a thing with Japan where like the people behind Chainsaw Man have said like this is the English logo, you must use this English logo in all like Chainsaw Man products. There's a myriad of things that could have went wrong. It could be a problem with it could have been the situation with the lettering guy. It could have been an issue with like branding. There's so many situations like that could have happened because obviously like you see the German version and you're like, well, this is what we're doing. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know where it went wrong. I don't know who made this decision. It probably wasn't a designer. If I had to guess, I doubt it was a letterer. it was probably someone beyond the people doing this, but I do not like it. I much prefer the vibrant cover. Yeah. I didn't even get the notification that you were on. Oh, sad times, Michael. Sometimes YouTube be that way. Well, you're here now, at least. Yeah, Cameron, at least you understand. Yeah, I mean, they could have kept the katakana, I guess. That would have looked cool, but yeah. Okay, here we go. And Gustavo saying here, my guess is the American licensors want to put their own logo on it no matter what. That's also a possibility that they could have they might have copyrighted a logo that they can use in all their branding and merch, and they wanted to use that. It could have been the American strictly, could have been the Japanese company strictly. I don't know. All I'm saying, guys, all I'm saying here, me going crazy here, is that, like, I like one of these and I don't like the other. Which one do I like? Can you tell me which one I like? Fuck. And alright, because I was legitimately thinking about this earlier, because of the Pat Labor collection, I thought, like, oh, well, if I actually spend a bit more money, I could get free postaging from America, and that might be worth it if I want to get a couple more items. So I was like, oh, well, look, they've got, like, they got the new volumes of Chainsaw Man out, like, they've got them all on sale, so they had, like, volume 1, 2, all for, like, $5, and in the English money, that's, like, maybe £3, so that's, like, I could have got, like, I could have got a fair few volumes of Chainsaw Man if I really wanted it, but then I saw this cover and this logo, and I was like, I can't buy that. I can't do it. I'm not gonna buy it. I do not want that on my bookshelf, alright? I don't want that cover on my bookshelf. I want to wait until they make a hardback, big old collection of them, and then they probably, hopefully in that time, have decided that this was an error, and they fixed the logo. Or at least changed the cover to something else what fits the motif. Like, the logo itself could be fine if the illustration was designed around it, which it isn't. This was, alright, when I used to work in the university too, this is a classic foley of illustration students too, and I used to have this problem too, but like, a lot of illustration students, what they'll do is they'll design the picture, but then they'll not think about type whatsoever. They'll just draw the thing, and then they'll realize, oh shit, I have to put some type on this because it's like a book cover or something, and they just try and like ham in. They grab their pickaxe and they start smashing in the type and just feeling like, I just got to get it somewhere. Just put it at the top or something, or put it in the bottom. I don't know. Just put it somewhere, and it always feels like it's slapped on top, and it doesn't feel right because the image was not made with the text in mind. And these are important things when you're designing an image. The lettering is just as important as the illustration or art design. It all comes together to make a cohesive whole. So yeah, okay, that's my rant for today, everyone. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Alright, so Avalos, I have seen Ashton No Joe. Very big fan of Ashton No Joe. One of my favourites. The whole thing. Joe 1, Joe 2, the manga's pretty cool too, I guess. The American logo seems like a horror movie. I could see that too because of the chainsaw. I mean, to be fair, it feels to me like Evil Dead or something. You know, like they'd make an Evil Dead logo with a chainsaw. That was something, feels like something they do, like very Grindhouse. But yeah. Am I going to do a story on Children of the Sea? I do own Children of the Sea. I would probably make a video about it and to have to talk about its very dirty laundry. But that might happen later this year. I'm thinking of doing a in December. I guess I'll plan it in November. But in December, November, I was hoping to do like a I guess it would start in December, but I was hoping to do a Studio 4C month, where I talk about loads of 4C titles, as many as I can like figure out how to do. It might happen, it might not, depends on how things go. But if it comes together, yeah, a Studio 4C month would be a cool way of doing it. I just there are certainly titles within the 4C library I'd like to spend a little bit more time on, but maybe it will just be like my first run through, and then if I find a specific title I want to say more about in the future, I could do my own video on it later, I guess. Like do another video. And then I can get a feeling for like what titles people are like already interested in. But yeah, Children of the Sea will definitely be one I'll be looking into, but yeah, I don't know, the deadline stuff would make me a little bit worried. But we'll see. I don't know. There's definitely a lot to talk about. Yeah, from the 80s, definitely. The logo and cover alone dissuades Stephen from buying. Yeah, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I literally, if the logo was cooler, I might have actually bought it because I could have been like, I mean, I may have doubled down. I may have like thought twice about it, but I don't know, like $5 per volume. I could have bought like 3 volumes for $15. That's a pretty good price for 3 volumes. That's a really good, that's a good deal. I could have bought 3 or 4 volumes, or I could have went ham and just bought like enough to get free postage and just bought like 7 volumes or something stupid on top, just for the sake of it. Because maybe one day I might do it. In theory, if I'd bought that many volumes, I might have ended up doing a Chainsaw Man video, and hopefully, But I have no intention of doing one. But maybe, who knows? But if I'd bought that many volumes, maybe I would have changed my mind. Maybe I would have been like, well, I gotta write this off on my taxes somehow. But yeah, like just those horrible. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that logo. Like it's such a small thing, but it's enough to like annoy me that I just wouldn't want to buy it. But yeah, like that's how I feel about it. I would be. I don't know if I guess I could do the Berserk movies. I would have to do it as one video, I guess, but I don't know how I would approach the Berserk movies now that he's passed. It feels like really strange for me to try and do something on it like this early. I had this other idea for a video that might be good like a year later when I have a bit more like space. But maybe I'll talk about them. I don't know, like the idea I had originally would have been like talking about the comparison between the original TV show and the movies. Just because, I don't know, there's something about the movies that I don't quite... I'll have to sit down and watch them properly. I don't know, the movies rub me the wrong way a little bit. Like, I don't really understand why they were made, but maybe I'll have to do some research and find out what the whole deal was. It just feels like really strange to me to remake the Golden, like, that arc again, when it's already been covered pretty thoroughly. And I know there's a couple things that obviously the original TV show couldn't do and stuff like, there's some things there. I understand, but I just don't know if 3 movies was the right call, personally. I don't think it's the best way of adapting that arc. That's my problem, I guess. But yeah, I probably should talk about them, just even if it's just on their own merit or like how they compare. I don't know, all like the history. I think that there's probably a video in there somewhere, I'm sure, but I'd have to make it as one continuous video. It would have to be one video for all 3. And people like Berserk, so I might as well do it. It would be a good, like, opening thing for making a Berserk video later. But yeah, I'll be talking about all the big boys. Ariete especially, yeah, and Mind Games. How many movies are in my anime collection? I have no idea. I'd have to count them all because they're in the other room. There's enough to fill like a whole... what would you say? I fill out at least one bookshelf slot with them, but the ones I have, so and like a lot, I guess like a lot of the older ones I used to have are gone now. Like I used to have a fair few VHSs for like Pokemon and other stupid stuff when I was younger, but I think that's all gone now. Yeah, you go. I don't really get the movies, but maybe it will be worth me trying to understand what they were going for. Like, maybe I can find an interview with the director, maybe I can find an interview with the producers, just to find out, like, what was the headspace when they decided to remake the TV show, but as movies, but I guess the first arc again, but as movies. Like, what were they thinking when they did that? What was the idea behind it? Because I'm not really sure I'm on board. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was because they had that TV show in mind and they wanted to get the original arc out of the way again without thinking that people would have watched the show from 20 years ago. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just spitballing. I haven't got a clue. If I could go back, I'd want them to do 3 films of the Black Swordsman arc, Millennium Falcon. Yeah, I mean, I think films are a weird way to adapt Berserk. Berserk seems like the least film-friendly kind of show or like manga that I could think of, just because like movies have such strict structures around like what they usually have to like have in them, that a movie seems like a bad way of doing Berserk. I guess. Kawaii Booty Boy 9000. What a great name. Such an excellent name there. I found the Berserk movies decent. I recommend them if people don't care about the details. I mean, it's still Berserk in the end of the day. I know my friend Shabes once said it was unadaptable. I don't necessarily believe that Berserk is unadaptable. I just think it's very difficult to get that, like, you're never going to get, like, the one-to-one adaptation. But, like, without the TV show, we don't have the Guts theme, and it would be a worse world without the Guts theme. And that soundtrack is so fucking good. And even like the CGI TV show and the movies, they have great music in them. Even though I would say the original soundtrack for the show is better, but still, that's all great. It's such good music. Anything other than Bloodlust do Amano justice? I think Angel's Egg is probably the most Amano production ever, because he was more involved within it as well. In terms of I believe it was supposed to be more of a collab between them making an art piece. There's an interview he did in one of the things I have, where he talks about the experience of Angel's Egg. I think out of all the Amano stuff, Angel's Egg is the most appropriate. Then again, there's also 1001 Nights, his weird experimental 20-minute musical piece avant-garde thing with the watercolors. I think those 3 pieces are probably the most Amano core. But then I'm gonna spend a whole several months doing a video on Amano one day, coming up at some point, whenever probably next year, or it'll either be next year or the winter. I haven't decided. Oh, Cat, you want to leave? Okay, you can go. It's fine. But you're coming back, right? Yeah, either in the winter or next year I'll be doing an Amano video on his whole life, because he's done so much work in different fields. I think it's really fascinating to talk about as a whole, a big old video on his whole career, because he started in anime as a 16-year-old prodigy, doing a lot of animation direction, all that, and then he moves into video games, and then he moves into fine art, and he's also doing other animes, and he's writing them and making these short, he's had such a wild career in terms of how much stuff a man can do. His covers too, he did those covers for the Gwyn Saga, is it? Gwyn Saga? The ones that inspired Berserk, one of the several books. Gwyn Saga and Vampire Hunter D and his other illustration work. And he's just been around. Yeah, Hirasawa is my boy. Well, we might be talking about Berserk more in the future. Mr. Kawaii Booty Boy 9000. The Berserk movies felt too odd to me. The first one's too short, the second's kind of uneven, the last one was okay. They did the clips a bit interestingly, work as a recap of the TV show. Yeah, I prefer the TV show, definitely. I mean, I think the TV show is something special, to be honest. I don't know. There's something about it that's so... I feel like the TV show is like a Blood Moon kind of situation, where it's such a unique piece. It has all these... Not only has it got the classical music direction of Hirasawa, it's got the art direction that's really, really specific to that generation, with its character designer, and it's got it's got a legendary background painter too. And then it has a very specific color palette, and it all comes together to make something that's really specific, and something that's I don't think you could repeat. Just the way, I guess it's something to do with that era, something to do with probably to do with the paint, the poster paints they had to use, and the limited colors they had to use. It would be just very hard to recreate that show as it was. It's just so specific, and I think that's kind of part of its charm. And I don't know if I'd want them to recreate. I'd like them to do something. If they were going to do more Berserk in that kind of way, I'd probably want them to try and use the stuff of this generation, the things that I want them to be using 3D composites and probably real-time light shading, stuff like that. Real-time light shading on top of their things, and lots of masks and all those other crazy techniques you can do nowadays. And then, a lot of 3D background work with good compositing, so it all matches very well, and doing epic sweeping shots. And there's really strong colors, vibrant colors and sunsets and nightfall, and just trying to do everything they could to get the most out of today's technology. Yeah, Katie says goodbye, but she'll probably be back. Yeah, I listened to Kurosawa basically for a week straight too. Actually, after he passed, it was unfortunate. I really wanted to get my hands on an overpriced $200 Susamu Hirasawa vinyl record. That does sound pretty cool. I would actually like that. Sorry, Michael, the key's gone now, but she'll be back later. Do I like Nisio Insin? Novelist. Well, I hate to tell everyone in the chat here, but I can't read. You know, not even a word, not even the chat, not even right now. I can't read a thing. So because I can't read, any question about novelists or people that write light novels, unfortunately, I can't answer them. I have watched Godzilla 1954 though. I have it on. I have an old. I think it's Criterion. I have like an old Criterion DVD for Godzilla 1954. But yeah, I've seen it. I've seen a fair few Godzillas in my time. Would I ever do a video on Belladonna Sadness? Yeah. Yeah, I've always been thinking about doing one for a long time. I just don't know how to approach it. I would probably have to approach it from like the whole Anirama trilogy, but I just don't know how to make that video. I own it. I own the collector's edition. I own all three of them. I had the collector's edition. I've got some background on the films, but I don't know how to approach it. I really struggle to think of how to talk about Belladonna. And it's the subsequent series beforehand. Yeah, I just struggle to figure out how to approach it, but I think one day I will talk about it. But I've got to figure out what the right time is and how to do it. That's my struggle with a video on Belladonna, because I love Belladonna. I saw it in the cinema. I've probably said this before, but alright. The first time I saw Belladonna, I saw a shitty Laserdisc version I pirated with my friend on my bed. Terrible subtitles, didn't make a fucking lick of sense half the time. Like they were like auto-generated subtitles. It was a real struggle to get through the story, but the images kept us going. And then later on, when they were doing the remaster, I got to see it. I was lucky enough to go see it in a limited edition cinema showing. It had about 60 people in the room, and it was great. Like, everyone was like laughing, and they were into it, because like, Belladonna is really fucking camp. I know everyone likes to say like, oh, it's like an art house masterpiece or whatever, very stylish and beautiful and a pioneer, but like, it's fucking goofy, guys. It's really fucking goofy when the little devil turns into a dildo and starts like, suggestively fucking her. It's really goofy, and everyone was like having a time of their lives and being like, this is fucking I don't think half of them knew what to expect. Like, I saw the trailer, like, my friend Robbie, back in the day, he showed me the trailer for the Belladonna with, like, the soundtrack, and I was like, I'm fucking in, baby. I'm into this. Full on, I'm so into this. We also watched, me and my friend Robbie back then, we watched all the Aniramas together. We watched the first two, and then we watched that in the cinema way later. And yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed my time watching it in the cinema, and now I own it on Blu-ray too. I had the collector's edition. I'm really happy it came out, because there was a worry for a long time that it would never leave America. But eventually, all the anime, I believe, picked it up. So I got a limited edition version with art cards and all that fancy stuff. I've been meaning to do a video on it for like since I began the channel. One day I'll figure out how to do it. Oh, Video Chemist. Very cool. You were one of the original users on Arno Sword? Arno's World in the early 2000s, not a flex. That's really cool. I wonder if have you got any good stories from back in those days? I don't know if there's anything on those old archives or things they used to talk about there that would be, worth discussing, but I don't know. Maybe there is. But that's very cool. Yeah, I guess I would have to approach it from the history, but I don't know how to market it, I guess, in a lot of ways, and I don't know how to make that video. I'll have to try. I don't know how to even title it. It would be so hard, but I'll figure a way out of doing it one day. I may have to do it, like, after a very successful video. If I can get a video that's about something kind of illicit, that gets, like, a lot of views, I could throw in a Belladonna and Anirama video straight afterwards if I really, like, go in hard on it. And make a 20-minute, like, maybe like a 20-minute sharp video on the Anirama trilogy after a successful, like, video on, I don't know, Legend of the Overfiend or something stupid. Something that's, a bit raunchy to begin with. Have I seen the scene where the little girl is crying over a dead mother? Wait, what we talk? Wait, did I miss a message? Sorry, Michael. Maybe your first message wasn't. Oh, was this about Godzilla? Have I seen the scene where the girl was crying over a dead mother? That was her mother, but she was acting, but the little girl didn't know, and that was cry. Was that in Godzilla, Michael? Sorry, are we still on Godzilla? I've seen the movie. Is this like a deleted scene or is it in the movie? Because it's been a while since I've seen the original Godzilla, to be fair, but I've been meaning to watch it again sometime. What, Belladonna? I wouldn't be surprised if Belladonna used to be lost media because it was hard to get a copy of it for sure. I mean, the hardest one to get a copy of for me at the time was getting a copy of Cleopatra, of whatever they want to call it, the Cleopatra 1970 film. Before they released the DVDs or the remasters and stuff, that film was fucking hard to find. I did find it eventually. I found like a really old, rough ass copy of it on like VHS or something, like a download of it. That was like basically had like one seed. I found a pair of like, I found a very dodgy pair of subs for it, and I went around my friend's house and we watched it and we had a great old time. Nowadays, of course, I have the DVD, so it's fine. Do I like Zombieland Saga? I've never seen it. If I had $1 billion, I'd want to adapt the Black Swordsman arc, the same as the video game CG of FF remake. I mean, that might be an interesting look, to be honest, because obviously, you know, Berserk has a very specific style that's very articulate, so maybe the FF kind of look might actually match it, alright? But I don't know, I'd like to see something a bit more stylized, to be honest. In fact, I'd rather have like an Amano look, like a classic Final Fantasy. If they had like an Amano character design CGI version of Berserk, now that would be interesting. I'd go for that. Do I know any popular foreign mangaka other than Boichi? Not personally. Don't know. I don't know too many mangaka off the top of my hand, but it depends what you mean by a mangaka, right? So if we're saying mangaka, I imagine we mean people who work in the Japanese industry. I'm not too familiar, I'm afraid. Don't know. Sorry guys, I'm getting lost in the chat now. I'm figuring out where the fuck I am. Yeah, there's probably something Kawaii Booty Boy 9000. There is probably something quite second gen feminist about. I'd say especially Belladonna. There are definitely elements that maybe in the other two, but I'd definitely say Belladonna is a very like or probably like early third wave, even like a feminist piece in a lot of ways. Especially when you can put it with like the history of like witch trials. I mean, I think I have a book somewhere about like the history of witch trial stuff, and a lot of it was about like actually this is kind of interesting because the film gets this correct, but like they say like a lot of these witch trials were about taking independence away from like business owner women. When there was them, like it wasn't necessarily all superstition, but there was like definitely like a marketable power divide thing where you had independent women like Belladonna, right? She had like an independent Fred, like you know, she was making the clothes and such, and she had like the independent business going. She became quite successful, and like the story is that yeah, like women who had positions of power like that were decried as witches to sort of, you know, push them down a peg. That's what I remember hearing. But I need to read through the book to rekindle that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff there you could talk about. You know, I mean, it's almost like a precursor. Because, all right, because a lot of that staff as well went on to do other stuff, like, because, you know, you got like Dasaki, who was working at Mushi Pro at the time, so a lot of those like techniques get moved into like Aim for the Ace, so you see a lot of that watercolory epic style in Aim for the Ace, but then you also see it in the early Madhouse, because again, a lot of those Mushi Pro people, you know, some of them obviously end up like Dasaki, so now they're working on Aim for the Ace, and they get a lot of that stylish watercolor, really melodramatic style gets thrown into there, and then you get that early Madhouse, but then like a lot of those people also move to they're moving over there, and you get some of those early like love AI, sort of like the boy AI ones, like, you know, the gay love sort of early like movies they did, and they're using very similar techniques to Belladonna. And then if you go even further on, in 1990, you see that the director of Belladonna makes a follow-up called The Sensualist, which got really popular on TikTok because of and there's like a version of it on YouTube that's done pretty well. I'd love to talk about Essential. If I made a video about Belladonna and it did well, I'd straight up talk about the Essentialist afterwards, just because it'd be a fun topic. But yeah, I don't know where the fuck we were going with that, but yeah. Oh yeah, so we are talking about Gods of 1954. Yeah, I've seen Gods of 1954. I vaguely remember a crying girl, but I don't remember much about the scene, because it's probably one of the scenes where like there's a bunch of destruction and people dying of radiation poisoning all over. Do I have any interest in European comics? I mean, I did a video about Mobius. Like, I think all comics are cool in their own right. Like, I think, yeah, European comics are cool. I just, I'm not a connoisseur of many comics, because I used to like reading a lot. All right, so this is my history of reading. I may or may not have some kind of ADD or whatever condition. I've really struggled to focus and read at the same time, like to focus read, and I have since I was a young boy. I got better in my later years at reading comics, but I'm also really bad at speed reading and not focusing. But I'm better at reading comics, definitely, than I am at reading, like, books. When I went to university and college and stuff, mainly college, I used to take a bus to get to college every day. And I used to go to the library of the local college or the local, like, area, and I'd pick up comic books to read on the way, just to give me something to do. Like, it was like 20, 30 minutes, well, it was probably like... No, I wouldn't say it's like 40 minutes. So it was like a 40-minute ride. So I'd sit down. What I usually be able to do then is, like, in that 40 minutes, I'd be able to maybe finish a comic book either by the end of the day or after my first trip and get another one before I could leave. So I read a lot during that period. And when I was somewhere between 16 to 19, I read a lot of comic books of all kinds. Nowadays, I don't, because I'm just really bad at doing that. I don't have the routine anymore. But I do have a bunch of stuff that I bought and I haven't read yet. So I tend to stop myself from buying comic books, because I know that it will take me... I just won't read them. So yeah, I have a pile of them I need to catch up on. But maybe one day. I still have my my copy of... what was it called? It's like, I had this like nice hardback of a Mobius story I bought to use as a prop in one of my videos. I've read bits and pieces of it before. It was one of them. It's one of his more sci-fi crazy ones, with Darrenowski, with the Holy Mountain Man, and yeah, I had that, and I was reading it. I think it was last year. I was reading it in the sun, and then the sun went away, and I stopped reading it, and I forgot to keep reading it. So I need to finish reading that. But yeah, I think comics are cool. I just I have struggle focusing. And I have a bad habit of buying them and forgetting to read them. Now, where are we, chat? Sorry, I've got to scroll down because it's not scrolling for me. Yeah, the first Godzilla film was in black and white. Also known as Gojira, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the witch hunts were a messed up time, Cameron. I need to read the book to get, like, proper sources. I think there's a lot of, like, up and down stories about witch hunting. Some of them are fake, some of them are real. I think there's... I mean, I sometimes hear stuff like that they're over-accentuated, like the amount of witch burnings and stuff is, like, overhyped, but I think the fear was very strong. Like, it was... The implication was the true power, necessarily over actually going through with it. Yeah, I think Belladonna was inspired by a certain book, but only loosely. It was like the Salem Witch Trials, is it, or something like that? I know there's a book that I know that vaguely inspired like the premise of Belladonna, but very loosely. Yeah, Cleopatra 1970 used to be on YouTube also a while back when I was still in uni. That's where we started watching it, but it got deleted very quickly, and it got lost, basically. So that's why I had to find a different version of it. It might be back on there now. Maybe someone else put like the newest version up. Who knows? It's been hard to find a decent rip of Natsue no Tobira. I think that's the one I called, wasn't it? Yeah, there's not really a lot of great versions out there. I can't remember what quality the one I had is. I found the best version I could find, basically, and then used that as the footage. I don't think it had any subtitles, though. Yeah, Lost Media is definitely pretty interesting stuff. Like, they recently found parts of Metropolis. Yeah, they've been finding stuff from Metropolis for years. Like, the latest Blu-rays have a lot more content in them. I don't know if they found more since, but yeah, there's like the latest version you can get on Blu-ray of Metropolis has like a whole new chunk of footage in it that had been like not. I mean, the newest version of Metropolis's Blu-ray or whatever up isn't exactly like new. I could probably find it for you because I've been meaning to get it for ages. I like Metropolis, the original, almost as much as the anime one. Metropolis Blu-ray, because yeah, the latest yeah, there's here it's called Metropolis Reconstructed and Restored. It's pretty cool. It comes with a nice cover. Right now it's about 14 quid to get a fresh version here. This version was released, let me see, this version was released in 2010, so this was 11 years ago. I don't know if they found new stuff since, but the runtime of this one is 2.5 hours. Maybe they found even more since, I don't know. I think the original version was supposed to be even longer than that. I need to destroy some of these. My tabs are getting too many. Alright, there we go. Where are we at? Yeah, Lost Media is pretty cool. Inkle. Yeah, it was definitely the Inkle. Oh, there's the cat again. She's probably coming back. You coming in, cat? There's a lot of dubbed manga releases by Shonen Jump on YouTube. What, like people talking over manga on YouTube? I don't really see the motion comics. I know there was a big trend of motion comics in like the late 2000s. Come on, cat, come in. Come on. Stop meowing out there. You coming in? You coming in? I'm not in that other room. You coming? You coming? She's just meowing. Alright, I'm gonna leave the door and she can figure out on her own. I don't know if motion comics are going to be the future. I think they were kind of a fad in the 2000s. Maybe they'll come back. I think that it's hard to beat, like, just reading it. But I can see that, like, for a lot of people, it's a lot casualer to sort of read, like, I don't know, have someone read it to you, I guess, with some fancy little bits on top. I can see that being better for people who are dyslexic and all that. But I don't know. I don't think it would say it's the future. I'm pretty sure that comics will stay as they are. Perhaps people will read them more digitally on their like tablets and phones or whatever, and maybe hardbacks will become less frequent. But I mean, people still like reading hard. Ah, there we go. There's a cat. Come on. All right, I'm gonna do a trick now. I'm gonna see if I can get her in a good shot. All right, cat. I want you to stay over here. I'm gonna tap. This is where I want you to be. There we go. Oh yeah, I better get rid of the Chainsaw Man stuff now. Okay, so yeah, as we repeat, German cover good, this cover bad. There we go. And also the Japanese one's probably the coolest. There we go. All right. This cat is now the focal point of over here. All right, there we go. Good cat. Now you're in shot. Very nice. Excellent. Sorry, where were we then? Some of the comics you've read been Invincibles. I read Invincibles like 10 years ago, maybe? The first 13 issues or so. Up to like the big old twist. I read that, and I started reading. I saw the series had gotten quite popular. I read a little bit more of it, and I can certainly feel the dated 2000ness in it, but I think it's kind of a charming like comic to read. I had generally considered like picking up Invincibles again, because I remember saying back in the day when I read it, like, oh, I had a really good time reading this, I should read more of it, and never did. So this might be a good excuse for me to actually pick it up. I don't know, but who knows. I've been saying that for 10 years, guys. I've been saying literally for 10 years, I've been like, oh yeah, Invincibles. I really enjoyed reading that. I should read more of that. And I just haven't. Yeah, okay, I think she's chilled out now. Alright, you still in the shot, Cat? Yeah, you're alright, you're perfect. There we go. Perfect shot for you. There we go. You can just stay there now. You can just chill out there. Don't move. Wait, do I have to keep patting you, or are you gonna like sleep? Sleep, okay? Sleep. Alright, what were you saying? Wait, sorry, Kawaii Boo Boy. What did I cover? I'm lost. I'm lost in the conversation that we were having. I'm afraid I don't know where we're at. I found what did we cover? I forget. I don't know. Sorry, I said too much words. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. But Cat is back. Wait a minute. I think I have a funny emote for Cat, don't I? I do. There we go. I need to add the more emotes. I had more to add. I keep forgetting to do that. I need to add. I'll do it at some point. Yeah, my cat is. She's got like mittens and a nice bib, and she has a little like Chaplin mustache, but it kind of goes off on one side. It's a good look, to be honest. It's funny. Oh yeah, the Natsu no Tobire. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I did make a video on that once upon a time. Yeah, I think it was worth talking about because I thought it was pretty cool for what it is. It's very stylish, and I liked seeing the lineage from like the Mushi Pro days. So I'm getting distracted by Cat now. I can't think of anything else. Wait, has anyone ever been as decided to use... James, what are you saying, James? Are you drunk? Has anyone ever been as decided to want to do more like... I don't know what the hell you're talking about, James. That is some wild commentary. How do I get rid of this emoji thing? Go out. I want my screen back. How do I get rid of it? I need to click that one. No? How do I get it to go away? How do I... Custom emoji? Oh, okay, there we go. I got rid of go. So you're going to ride the Alpha Lead traction by posting it. Yeah, I'm going to try to. It's almost done, Cameron. I will try and post it the next couple of days. Hopefully by the end of today, the uncensored version will be finished. And then tomorrow, I want to spend the whole day doing citations because I had to think about this earlier. I was in call with a friend because I legitimately thought like, oh, can I just fuck all the citations and make them like time coded in the pinned comment or something? But there's a couple things I do in the video where like I'm quite vague about some of my sources, and I think it would be more appropriate just to have the citations on screen, just to make sure people know that like I'm talking about a source opposed to like my own perspective, and I just want to make that clear. So like if I hadn't been so vague at times in my talking, because I don't know, I probably didn't even remember what source I was talking about, I probably would have just done it all in time codes, because it's an hour and 7 minutes, and there's like at least 50 or plus citations I'm gonna have to like put on the video somewhere. So it's going to take all day tomorrow for me to like figure out where all the citations are, and I'll probably do it even then. I'm probably going to try and cut some corners and do them nice and loose, and pick up the slack in the pinned comment or whatever. But yeah, I'll get it done, and then like So at least, all right, I'm going to check my stats. It's probably going to be Wednesday. If I had to guess, Wednesday's probably the day that I do best on uploading. So I'll check where my stats are. Probably be uploading it sometime on Wednesday. I have to guess. It would be around then. And then that's probably going to be it. It'll probably be Wednesday. But yeah, I'll I'm going to make sure it's together as possible. Like that's like 3 days from now. That's all right. Hopefully that's okay, and I haven't lost too much time. I mean, if the stats are telling me I can do it on Tuesday, then I'll do it on Tuesday, I guess. Gustavo. Gustavo? Yeah, Gustavo. Just for curiosity, is the Nausicaa video coming after the Studio Arms one? At the end of the Studio Arms video, I say, to quote, next time we're talking about Nausicaa, we're going to talk about the anime, we're going to talk about the manga, and it's going to be a final time. So yeah, Nausicaa is going to be after Arms. And I say also, if I recall, hopefully it doesn't take me 3 months to make a Nausicaa video. Hopefully. Maybe it'll only take me 2 months. Wouldn't that be great? I mean, ideally, month and a half, but who knows? It may take me a really long time. But at least with Nausicaa, I only have to read. They're propping up my stuff now, but I have my 2 hardbacks here. I watch the film again. I watch the commentary. I do my research. I get my special guest in. I buy that new plugin to help me speed up some stuff with manga panels, and we're going to be at the horses. Maybe if I'm lucky, I can find a sponsor too and make some money back from all the stuff I'm buying for it. If I'm lucky. You know, it's funny. I always I sometimes get in my junk folder. I get these emails from fucking Raid Shadow Legends. And on record, I cannot fucking stand mobile games of all kinds, even the good ones. So the idea of like shelling for Raid Shadow Legends to me seems laughable. However, if I was making a video that I knew was going to do gangbuster views, and I could like write it into the script in a funny way, as like I was thinking about this like with Arno, because there's going to be a point, I guess, with the Arno video where he has to make sacrifices to keep the studio going, or Gynax has to make sacrifices to keep the studio going in terms of merch and making their weird like raunchy ecchi games they did, and keeping the lights on or whatever, or just like the side compromise that you need to do as a creator in terms of how much merchandise and Ava stuff they sold over the years. Just like there's I think that people have made videos where it's literally like you can survive on Ava like merch because there's so much of it. It's all different kinds of foods and whatever. But I feel like there'd be a funny like way to like go from like you have to make sacrifices as a creator, and you hit the bottom of the barrel and do whatever you can to survive when it comes to like merching yourself out to be creative, and then suddenly going straight into a Raid Shadow Legends plug that they paid me mad dollar bills on that will keep me going for the rest of the year would be hilarious. And then I would probably overshoot how much money they should pay me, and then probably never work with them again when I under-deliver. That would probably how it would go. But I don't know. I don't really like the idea of working with them. I think they're a bit scummy. I mean, they'll literally like go with any. They'll go. They don't care. They'll pimp anyone out, right? But if they pay well. But I don't know. I prefer the idea that like if I'm going to make a sponsorship, it's something I actually would use or have used or actually stand by. Like I've said it before, Clip Studio Paint. I would simp for Clip Studio Paint all day. If they were my exclusive sponsor and I could like simp for them every video, I would go above and beyond to talk about how much I love Clip Studio Paint. I would sell that stuff like no one else. But I just don't think they usually do it for these kind of videos. It's usually art channels they do the whole spiel for. My man's first trapping with the thumbnail. Well, it is the 69k celebration stream, my friend. We gotta be doing something. Did Japan also do the Berserk Deluxe? I don't know if they did. I have to assume that maybe I really don't know. I would have to assume Japan would have done like because they'd have to upscale the prints, so they'd need the original masters to upscale it. So Japan has to at least like give it the thumbs up. I have no idea if it was their idea. It just feels like a very American idea though, doesn't it? Because like to make the comic as big as a normal comic, instead of like a manga sized. It does feel like a kind of like a Western idea from Dark Horse, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. You'd have to look it up. Paco. I love the citation method. I believe you and won't check them, but it really helps. Honestly, one of the good things about doing a citation method like that is actually for me too, because going through my old videos to look for citations is a fucking nightmare if it's just a garbled mess, which most of my descriptions or my pinned comments are, unfortunately. I mean, I do my best to look through, but it makes it so much more easy. Or it makes it so much easier to look for citations if they're all numbered and like they're numbered and have little points. So like if I go through my video and find the point that I need to know where that citation comes from, I go, oh, number 7, look on my list, number 7 is this source. Really easy to find it that way instead of having to open every single citation and looking through it until I find the one I actually need. So yeah, to me, it's also like, while I hate doing it, it is actually really useful in like future reference when I need to look back on other like sources for other videos, or if something from another video is relevant again. It's really useful for me to do it all numbered and like nicely ordered and neat, opposed to just throwing them out like a complete mess. So yeah, ideally it's better for me in the future, but it's also I guess more professional too. It just takes a lot of time. Like there are some videos where I question if I should even put them in there and just like I could number them but just time code it in the description. Like if I did the Arno video, because the Arno video would be very it would be very like creatively, narratively directed. Like I would do it as a more cinematic, I don't know what you'd say, like more narrative focused like piece than it would be like strictly info based. So like maybe in that situation I would just like have like chapters and have all my citations numbered in relation to when they come up in that chapter. So like maybe with that video, because I know it would take forever anyway, that like, and it might be even longer than an hour and 7. So maybe with a video like that, I might just like not do the numbered system on screen and just do it in the comments, just to give me that like, I don't think I'm strong enough. In that one instance, maybe when it's more of a documentary-esque feel to it. But for most other videos, I probably will keep the number system going. I don't remember seeing any of the Gundam films are anti-war. I don't actually think any Gundam is technically that anti-war. They seem to be very much, you know, the state of imperialism in action. Kawaii Booty Boys 9000. Now you're 23, you're thinking of changing that name? That name is pretty iconic. If I were you, I would just wear it like a badge of honor at this point. I mean, I guess it's up to you though in the end. If you want to change it, you can change it, but I do think it has a sort of dominance. It asserts wherever you go, because it's a very loud and proud name. Yeah, wait, did she move again? God damn it, cat. This cat again. She moved out of she flipped herself and moved out of the way of the camera again. What a sneaky cat. Sneaky cat. You can't escape me, cat. You're gonna be on camera if you like it or not. You are camera cat now. You cannot escape my domain. No. Sorry, I gotta get myself back in the shot now. God damn it. Okay. All right. Maybe if I hang out with the cat over here. Yeah, maybe that'll work. All right. Cameron's got your back, Booty Boy. He does. He says he likes the name too. Wait, sorry, where are we at? So we got cat. Oh, hi, Mr. Hiding in Public. Steve well, Steve more like Steve That's correct. You are saying my name correctly, Mr. Hiding in Public. Thank you for joining me on this epic 69k last minute. I turned it into a celebration stream because I thought it would sound funny situation. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, but Mr. Booty Boy, I do think your name is cool. You should keep it. It is not cringe. It is based. Paco, I think Shah's counterattack's pretty cool. I just don't know if I'd call it anti-war. Probably isn't. Just I think Gundam in itself is probably not really an anti-war series, as it is just more. I think it's more complicated than that. Just because like Gundam can't exist without war, and to have giant robots, you need to have an imperialized situation for them to be in. So like Gundam could never really truly be like anti-war because it will never stop being in war. And even like you can kind of see there's an illusion of anti-warness in the trilogy movies, but like as soon as you watch the television series, it kind of falls apart very quickly as they start like pushing for like responsibility over PTSD and all this other stuff. I mean, you're doing pretty good these days, Mr. Hiding in Public. I can't remember. Like, aren't you like 169k or something like that? Oh god, you're over the 169k. You got past the 169 meme number. Oh, silly cat. But I appreciate you coming in and celebrating my silly meme award. The thumbnail is such bait. What does that even mean? What am I baiting you with? I mean, I don't have the light. To be fair, I don't have the good lighting in here. I'm sorry. My good lighting's in the other room. It would be awkward to set up in here. I could try and set up in here, but I have to move one of my lights, and it's like balanced on top of a keyboard right now. That's how I light my room. But maybe next time I'll actually bring the other light in here, because I don't like having the third light on. I think if I could make it more ambient, I would prefer it that way. I could give it a go, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know if I could turn this on. There we go. Maybe I put that down here. Now we got even more crazy lighting. Woo. And yeah, she does be sneaky, that cat. She does be, but now she's in shot and she can't stop me. It's actually getting very hot to put this way out. I can't even talk anymore. It's getting very hot in here. All these lights and this jacket. Wait a minute. I'm going to make it even worse for myself and zip it up. Before I switch to tank top or something. I think my tank... I should have wore the tank top today. Should have done it. Cameron, you should sponsor Skillshare for animation or Udemy. I did a sponsorship with Skillshare once, but then they never called me back. Probably because I thought I was going to get a lot more views than I did on the videos, and I didn't. So the people I worked with never mentioned me again. So c'est la vie. That might be a relationship that is now set sail, but I don't know. I don't really know how to contact them about it. I don't really know how that works. So I usually wait for them to contact me. That's the cat's plan, to move further and further away until you just aren't in frame anymore. That is true. She is actually trying to take over the frame. She's trying to take it over. She's trying to take it all over. But she does have mittens. That is also true. Yeah, UC Gundam is pretty interesting. I do agree. Mitsu saying that he does think there's a lot of, well, they do think that there's a lot of anti-war sentiment when you view it, the thing as a whole, and what the characters stand for. Maybe, but I do know like a lot of the creators ultimately don't stand for the anti-war stuff. I think legitimately some of the creators behind Gundam are actually like war is necessary types. All right, it's too hot to keep wearing this jacket, guys. I'm sorry. I might have to take it off. Oi. Maybe we'll put it back on the... Well, actually, no, it's probably not happening. Ah. Like, I could see some of the anti-war sentiment, but I don't know. I feel like inherently Gundam can't be anti-war, just by the nature of it. Like, you could perhaps argue that war is bad by, like, the stuff that happens in the show, but ultimately, you know, that seems to be paled in comparison to, like, the amount of, like, thousands of Gundam models and the continuous cycle of war that happens forever. I mean, it can go either way, I guess, in some parts. There's definitely different parts of this series that have different messages. You know, you could certainly see a more critical angle on, like, colonialism, with Gundam... God, what's it called? Gundam Moon? No, it's not Moon, is it? It's the 90s one, the late 90s one, by Tomino. What's that one called? I've forgotten now. I think the track's Moon, because, what is it called? I don't know, someone in the chat probably knows. Mislav, yeah, I have a old saved, who's that guy? Is it Nama Sensei? The guy who, like, swears every 2 seconds and drinks beer? His old Japanese playlist? I don't know if I ever got that far into it. It seemed fine. It seemed okay for what it was. I probably should pull out the old... I made a book called the Gaijin book. I should probably pull it out and go through some of his exercises again. I'm a different man from back then. Last time I tried it, I couldn't even read that stuff. Now I can sort of read stuff. I do mean Turn A, that's the one. Good cat. Paco, I only saw the first movie and thought that the way individuals lost their lives and weight seemed anti-war. And I said, Wing is definitely not anti-war. It's the only Gundam I've seen. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Paco, because that's what I originally believed when I saw the original movie. But when you see it in context to the actual show, the arc that Amuro, right? Amuro's arc is not one of, like, oh, the situation of war is horrible. It's like people going, stop whining about your PTSD, Amuro, and just get back in to the robot and stop whining. We've all got to fucking do our part, dude. You just chill out. And then eventually his, like, PTSD just sort of stops being a thing, and he just kind of learns to love the thrill of the fight and getting, like, kind of crazy about it. And then he gets Space Jedi powers. I certainly think there are definitely things about it that could be argued as anti-war. I just, especially with, like, comments from certain people in the production and other stuff that that Tomino has said over the years, I find it hard to say that it was always meant to be like a exclusively, you know, war is bad piece, when, like, war is such a fundamental part of the Gundam universe and never goes away. And you're always watching soldiers. Most of it, well, like, for the most part, it is all soldiers. Like, I believe Tomino once said what's that quote from Tomino was like, you know, if I didn't kill people in my shows, I'd kill them in real life, so it's a good thing I make these shows. Probably a fake quote, but it's very funny. And, like, there is a quote that Tomino said that, like, a lot of his influence from making the original Gundam was from his days at, like, just watching the old labor movements and the sort of 70s rebellious student riot stuff. And, like, watching both sides and sort of partaking from a very far angle and just watching these two sides, like, collide. And, like, the thrill for him was being on the outside of it. I think he said that in one interview from back in the day. And then one person who made the person who behind the Gundam manga, Gundam Origins manga, he specifically stated himself that he didn't think the series was anti-war at all. And that he finds war is necessary. So there are definitely people behind the thing that have more complicated views of it than it being simply war bad. But yeah, you could certainly look at it and be like, yeah, Yeah, war kind of sucks because people die, but giant robot, giant robot. That's why we're here. How's it going, Riank? I think we're not going to go for much longer. I probably got another 20 minutes. Is learning Japanese too much effort? I don't know. It's up to you, I guess. You know, Japanese is what you make it. It depends what you're going to use it for too. I try and do bits and pieces all the time, but I'm bad at keeping up with a routine. But you know, it's useful for what I do. Like, you know, making videos is very useful to have that backbone. I'm not far in enough. I wish I was better. I don't know. After I finish this video, I will try and get back into the routine of actually doing something on a daily basis. You know, you don't need to do that much a day, but you need to keep up the routine. You really do. You know, if I could just do 10 minutes a day and just keep that up, I'd eventually get somewhere. Where are we at? Mitsu. That's why I prefer the movies. I think the series is best ignored for multiple reasons. I didn't finish watching the show yet, but I've seen all 3 movies, and I've seen maybe 70% of the show, and I think that the show paints a more wide scope even, picture of the actual, the situation in the universe of Gundam, and I find that more interesting, is the wider scope of, like, how it all comes together and what it's trying to say. I think that while it isn't inherently anti-war, I think the stuff it's talking about can still be critiques, just in different ways. And it's just more, I guess. There's definitely I think the trilogy itself is fun. It's good. It's definitely an easy way of getting people in. But yeah, if you really want to see the scope of the universe and like how stuff works and the sort of what's happening in the show, character-wise and on like a deeper level of like the social political aspect of it, watching the show I think is more recommended. That's how I would see it, at least. Especially if you plan to watch more of it afterwards, like if you're going to go on to like watching Sata and Shah's counterattack and all that. You know, and then after Shah's counterattack, you might want to watch Hathaway, which is new, which is kind of related in that time period. And like just follow it through. Yeah, I mean, they kind of keep it more structured to like just the standard Gundam unit, because there's definitely a lot more random units in the show, but I do think there's something to those random units, because they paint a picture beyond Amuro Ray. They paint a picture of like how different parts of like a war are fought, and I guess you could say that, you know, you have that sort of like the anti-air sort of like one, and then there's like a backup sort of jankier one. Yeah, there's something about that ragtag ability, opposed to like where the movies try and focus just specifically on the key characters, and the show has more of a like team aspect of it and figuring out how to function as a team when you're in war, like an endless war as well. It's kind of ridiculous how, you know, there is no end in sight at any time. It's a constant cycle at all moments. Constant cycle of like destruction, explosion, damage, repairs, repeating. Personally, I think there's a lot more anti-war points in the original Gundam. I think the message is more blurred. From what I've seen, it seems like it's more blurred than it is. I don't know. I find it... I mean, I'm also of the belief that I have a hard time truly believing a piece can be anti-war in total, especially Gundam, considering what it's about. It doesn't necessarily, like, it's easy to say war is bad, but like functionally if the mechanics of the show are the opposite of that, it certainly can tell that there's huge disparities in war and what that means. But yeah, I think it's just more complicated than strictly war bad. But maybe one day we'll get into that. We'll get into the Tomino experience. A big point in some of the later Gundam series is like Char's counterattack is the pollution on the Earth. Yeah, probably. I'm not as familiar, but yeah, that sounds about right. I was mostly referring to the transformation of the Gundam with the G-Fighter and some of the other Gundam weapons that are excluded. The rest of the mobile suits. Oh yeah, fair enough. Some of that stuff is like toy shit. Yeah, I mean, definitely blurred lines, for sure. That's what I would say. Because I wouldn't say that like Gundam is 100% like war is, good either. But I think the show understands that, like, the cycle of imperialism, which Gundam is, you've got, like, the space colonies and the others, despite the cycle of war, imperialism, and the the industrial military complex that it has created, basically has to keep operating for the show like Gundam to exist. For people to use these ridiculous mechas, they need to keep fighting these wars, and then you get into like Sata, and it becomes more like terrorist operations, right? It's more like splintered units. From what I saw of Sata, it's been a while. Like isn't it? Because the war had ended by Sata, right? And then it was like terrorist operations and like splinter units and other stuff is happening. And I think Neo Sion is starting to build up, and yeah, it just keeps going, and it's on and on and on and on. Resonan, thanks for celebrating 69k instead of 70. I wouldn't have celebrated 70k. That's a boring number. 69's a funny number, and I'm not even. I mean, it's kind of a meme, right? Funny, happy celebration. 69. Hey, what we doing? Laugh, ha ha ha. But yeah, it's cool. I think 69's a funny number. I think the next number I'd celebrate is 100k, because I don't think any of the other numbers sound like anywhere as impressive. And thank you, Eric, for the for celebrating 69k with me. About Sata, I always think that the original Gundam is more of a traditional war story with clear sides. I don't even know if that's true though, because I guess we could say that Sion as an empire is evil, but there are certainly definitely points within Gundam, and I'm pretty sure there's a quote about this, about like the blurred lines of like the ambiguity of war, like Ramba Rouse and all that other people like that. Like there's moments where people on the Sion side are just like regular folk, and it definitely sort of paints a less clear divide situation. But yeah, the Sion Empire is certainly like Nazi-esque, I guess, or like German imperial-esque, if you want to say it, with their outfits or whatever. So you can look at it that way, that yeah, the Sion Empire is kind of like a little bit, it's more of a traditional threat, I guess you could say, than later on. Sata is more of a modern war with grey shades, where people are more willing to change sides. Yeah, it's a bit more of that. Shah's message is that so long as the souls of humanity are weighed down by gravity, then war will continue. He believes that to end war, humanity has to evolve past what they were on Earth. Yeah, probably. It's probably true. That's the theory that behind new types was that they were some sort of ascended humanity limitations through the greater understanding of each other, using empathy and all that magic stuff, right? In other words, the future of humanity in space is in space with new types. That seems like something Tomino would say, galaxy brain, like we need to understand each other's empathy. The issue I would have is that all the new types are like Jedi space fighter guys that do kill more people than anyone else with their fucking laser swords. So I don't know if any of them ever quite go beyond war. I mean, doesn't Shah's story end with him like trying to fire a comet into the planet? That doesn't seem very empathetic, I guess. But maybe Shah's just crazy, I don't know. Gundam is cool either way. Gundam is there's lots of interesting stuff about Gundam. Though I wouldn't say anything too concrete right now because I feel like I'd have to completely rewatch everything. Sit down with some interviews, have a bit of a think, look at some other pieces on Gundam and war and such, and come to a more like informed overall decision about it all. You know, looking at it from a wider lens. But yeah, I feel like generally a lot of the I always like that. Like, there's that one picture I always bring up that people do. You know, where like, I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, the theory fails, which is sad. I guess that's the kind of the bleakness of its own resolve. But what has anyone seen that? Like, I'll see if I can find it. Like, there's one particular meme I always remember. You know, it's like that guy that looks at it and goes, there's a face that looks at the robot, and it's like, wow, you know, war is bad. And then at the end of it, it will say something like, I'm the yeah, here we go. Because when I saw this, I was always like, yeah, I totally get that I totally understand where they're coming from. There'll be that, well, it's getting late now. I've got like another 10 minutes, and I should probably go off and finish this video. Or finish this part of the video, at least. Alright, where is it? I think it's this one? Yeah. Here we go. This is the moral of the story. I am the personification of violence required to maintain an imperial homogeny. War is bad. Everyone comes to a stop, the axis crash into the earth, and both Neoncio and Londa Bell and the end realize how mistaken they were. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit too late, I guess. How's it going, AI squared? Unfortunately, we're about to end it soon enough. I mean, well, I would say that, like with Mitsu, it's definitely true that Gundam are supposed to sell toys, though I feel like that's the conceit of getting it made. Because I don't think Tomino went into the business going, yes, I'm going into the business to tell stories, to sell toys. I really do believe that Tomino has intent behind his words and his stories and what he wants to do, because he's a pretty galaxy brain fella, right? And I think with Gundam, there was definitely like, he wants to do this and he wants to do that, and the toys are just the compromise to get it made, even though like the original Gundam toys are awful. Have you ever seen the ones that aren't Gunpla? The original toys they were trying to sell to kids were so badly made, Jesus Christ. But then Gunpla is pretty cool. Gunpla is pretty cool. But yeah, like the conceit of Gundam will always be built into like the whole. I mean, you can say it's kind of like the constant need to make more toys is kind of like the constant need to spend the budget of your military to keep the budget going, right? That you need to keep making new frivolous toys for war to make sure you maintain your budget so you don't like have anything left to spend. And I think you can see something there. The new type thing is pretty weird. The giant robot category by far prefer the paddleboard perspective of simple toys, tools and other vehicles. Yeah, I mean that's a different way of looking at it. Though I don't believe Gundam is giant robot. It's more like real robot, right? For those who don't know what Gundam is, please explain. That's far too much of a conversation, I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't think it was initially intended to sell toys, but sure. Yeah, I mean, I think unfortunately with like most animation, right, and this is like a general thing, like to the West more so, because Japan has like such a multimedia approach now. But for the most part, throughout time, especially in America, especially after like regulation got cut down in the 80s, most animated shows were built to make, to sell toys, to sell merchandise. And even these big old Marvel movies, like most of the money they make on these Marvel movies is off the merch, off the toys and stuff. That's where the real money is. And in fact, there was that old story back in the day when I was younger. So when Young Justice was on television on the Cartoon Network, they realized it had a higher like female rating board. Like they noticed more girls were watching Young Justice than they thought they would. It was like 50-50. So they cancelled the show because the idea at the time was, well, girls don't buy toys. So because it has a larger ratio of girls, we're not gonna keep making the show. And that was like a big old. I mean, after a while, they got a lot of shit for it, and eventually, Young Justice I think came back for a third season much later on. But I believe it had like 2 seasons, and then it was canned because of the toy stuff, which is ridiculous because that was like 2009, 2010, and they were still thinking on the model like, well, we got to sell those toys, baby, and if the audience is more girls than boys, then we're not selling as many toys as we should be, so we need to throw another show in its place. I was on a podcast about underground manga, so for once I wasn't bummed out about missing a stream. Oh, that's fair. I mean, I hope you had a good time at least. I'm sorry, I'm always so indecisive about streaming. Usually I try and do 6 or 7 p.m. Great British time. But you know, c'est la vie. Thank you, AI Squared. I will keep trying to grow it. I'm pretty sure girls buy toys. Well, they don't buy. Well, at least at the time, because this is probably all bullshit, right? Because this is like, you know, when big producers get around tables, this is the stuff that they think is true. But the idea was, at least this was a stereotypical idea, right? That girls don't buy stereotypical action figures, and that's what they were trying to sell. And it's a reason as well with think this was a thing with Avatar, The Last Airbender as well. The reason they didn't make a lot of action figures for Last Airbender at the time, I don't know if they do now, they probably do now, was that because the series had a lot of female like characters and the viewership was quite split down the middle, they didn't think it would be worth spending money making action toys that they didn't think would sell. Something along those lines. I don't know, it's all like bollocks. But yeah, like, they buy different toys, I'm sure, and there's like so much merch out there that like, and the idea of them not buying action figures is already like stupid as fuck anyway. I don't even know if it's necessarily true, but they do this for like girl characters as well. I think this used to be an old story about like how they didn't make Black Widow action figures either because they didn't think they'd sell. Because like, yeah, these people who make these decisions are like dinosaurs. So yeah, it's a whole thing. Like, I don't think any of it. It's all just bullshit and conjecture that they've decided after like 20 years of doing their job and thinking ways. This is the way it is. Thank you, Kwai Booty Boy 9000. Good stream. I enjoyed talking with you for a bit. Always good to talk about Berserk. Yeah, we'll probably talk about Berserk more in the future. You found a rip of 1001 and Cleopatra. I will check out. Yeah, it's a lot easier to find that stuff now. Than it used to be, because they're all like, you know, because, well, when someone gets licensed, it's so much easier to find a rip than it was beforehand. But yeah, you should find a good rip of both of them, so enjoy. And Mitsu, I assumed you were making a dirty joke, but I was trying to look past that and be a little bit more responsible with my stream. Just because it's the 69k celebration doesn't mean I shouldn't be responsible. Isn't that right, Kat? She agrees. Right. I think I'm up. Alright. 1 second, everyone. 1 second. I just looked at my stream and I realised I've still got that stupid emote. Alright. I'll be back in a second. I need to go to the toilet. Oh, no. Wrong image. No, wrong image. Wrong image. Wrong image. Yeah, there we go. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm going to go to the toilet, and then I will Alright, I'm back for 2 minutes, I guess. Let me flip this all off. How do I do that? There we go. So yeah, next time what I think I might try, I'm going to see if I can get my other light in here. And I want to see if I can do ambient lighting cool lighting. Because we've got one light down there, we've got one light there, we've got this little light here. How do I get it under shot? I think there. I mean, I think I've got enough lights that I don't have to use the main light. Because if I turn the light off now, it's probably too dark. But like if I get another light in here, which is probably on the bed, maybe just out of shot on bed, I might just be able to get it lit in a nice way, in a bit more of an ambient way. So yeah, I'll give it a go at least. So where are we at? Yeah, I've heard Megalobox Season 2 was pretty cool. I should probably watch it sometimes. But, I'd have to watch Season 1 first. Right, I think I've run out of water, haven't I? I should have brought more water, guys. Always keep hydrated. Right. Final things. I gotta do. Probably should do some. Alright, I'm gonna do a little housekeeping, I reckon. I'll try to at least, because sometimes YouTube messes me up with this. I'm just gonna give some updates. Alright. In the next couple of days, my full ARMS video will be out. It's probably gonna be called The Rise and Fall of Alphenlied Studio. Or The Alphenlied Studio. Probably The Alphenlied Studio sounds better. So the Rise and Fall of the Alphenlied Studio, maybe like a little hash and be ARMS, and that will be out in the next couple of days. I'm gonna add a little link to I don't know if it'll let me send it because YouTube's fickle about this stuff, but I'm gonna try. Try is the key word. I am going to try and send something in the oh god, what have I done? What have I done? Alright. I will see if it will let me do it. Alright, message pinned, there we go. Maybe I should pin the actual I'm just going to post a couple of things real quick. So there's the page. There's a Patreon link there to part 4, and then if you click the page, well, that's just my general Patreon anyway. So that's where all the parts are if people are looking to get them early. You know, all the uncensored version, which will be, I guess, in the next couple of days, all backers will be able to get the uncensored version, which has a little bit of extra. Today I've been making the I can't put this on YouTube without getting like adult only rating AMV for like the hentai section for ARMS. I'm doing like a little AMV, trying to go through the history really quickly. And yeah, so the full version of the uncensored version, the full uncensored version will be done by hopefully the end of the day. The full version of the public version will hopefully be finished by tomorrow, and both of them will be up on there. And then either Tuesday or Wednesday, it will go up for everyone else, depending, we'll see. That's my plan. Also, all my streams tend to be archived on the Patreon. I need to update my link to the playlist, but there will be there's a playlist of all the streams, and there's the Discord and whatever else. But yeah, new video coming out very soon. Keep an eye out for it. I will maybe do like a pre-video stream, I guess. I think I will see. I might premiere it because it's long and it would be funny to see people's reaction in real time, I guess. It's probably worth a go because it's that long, and I don't know how it's going to perform anyway. I don't know. I've heard they've updated the premiere options, so maybe it will let me do like a pre-stream beforehand as part of the premiere. I don't know. I know they said that was going to be a thing at one point. I don't know if they ever put it in practice. But yeah, stuff's happening. Hopefully the channel will continue to grow, and we'll get past the funny number, but maybe we'll get to the funny number another time. Wouldn't it be funny if we had 690,000 subscribers? Wouldn't that be hilarious? But yeah, ARMS video. I don't know how I got links to work, but I went in. I went onto the. Oh, okay. Lol. All right, because I've been streaming. This happens usually with streaming. I think my number went back down again. I think we've actually went under the 69k one, which is part of the course. We'll probably be back to it tomorrow. That happens. You know, when you start streaming on YouTube, sometimes your numbers they fluctuate on like dead subs or whatever. But yeah, we'll be back to 69k tomorrow, probably. Lol. C'est la vie. But yeah, I got links to work, but alright, I figured out how to do it, everyone. What I need to do is I have to open up the stream in a separate channel, and then do it through there. And then, because when I try and do it in the live streaming thing, whatever I do accidentally hides them or something stupid. I don't know, it's probably just some YouTube glitch. But yeah, if I do it strictly from the links, from the YouTube, opening up in a separate tab, it works. So yeah. Anyway, that's how you get that stuff to work. Oh yeah, there's my Twitter. Oh, by the way, as well. 1 second, everyone. I will link everyone to once if I can find it. I'm going to link everyone to my art only channel on Twitter. I should probably start actually publishing this more. Right. So whenever I do a piece of art or an illustration or like an animation, I put it up on Twitter or wherever. I've decided to use my old Twitter account from many years ago. This is the one I had in when I was in college, in 2013 or 12 or whatever. So I've decided to turn this into my retweeting, and maybe I'll take some photos on it too. But it's basically going to be my retweeting of all my art stuff. Like anything to do with like something I draw or something I collage or put together and I put on Twitter, I will retweet it on the secondary account. So if you want just a nice, easy look through all my like art stuff, it's just like a more pleasant scroll instead of whatever other bollocks I'm posting on Twitter. But yeah, like I thought that would be a good idea. Oh, and I've got to clean up my links quickly. Yeah, I used to do a lot of moody architecture stuff back in the day. I still like that stuff, I just haven't done it in a while. Oh, cat stretching. Oh. Alright. You're in good shot now. Okay. So, before I spend another 20 minutes streaming, I will probably call it quits for today, with the knowledge that I will probably be doing a fast and loose pre-stream, maybe like a pre-video stream thing. I've tried that before. I think I'll do it again, maybe for like Wednesday or Tuesday. So we're going to be streaming again real soon, before the video comes out, and maybe I might do some more streams afterwards, depending on how the video goes. I might try and like just stream for like I've been wondering if I should do a thing where like I try and stream every day for a week just to like promote the ARMS video, just because like I don't know how else to promote it outside of the general ways I usually go, but like just trying to like get it out there by doing a couple extra streams, maybe do some draw streams and talking streams or whatever, and just like just chill out with people and just like post it in the chat and be like, hey, if you want to check it out, just a reminder, blah blah blah. Do like an hour stream a day or whatever. Probably not good for the sub count, but it'll probably be good for the view count. But yeah, just like trying something else to like just get people out there watching the video, doing whatever I can. It might be worth a shot. I don't know. Do a real cosplay of Shah at the next Milestream stream. I wouldn't be against doing a Shah like cosplay. It would cost a lot of money to get all the props, so I want to get like good ones too. Like I wouldn't want to get shit ones. But I don't know. Do I really want to be a fucking Sion bro? I don't know. I mean, it looks cool. The outfits do look cool, but do I really want I don't know. It would be a good cosplay either way, wouldn't it? But yeah, who knows? We might stream a lot next week, or try to. I'll give it a go. Probably do Sunday again next week. So I'll see you Sunday next week if you want to come back. Maybe Wednesday or Tuesday. And if that goes well, maybe I'll do another one on Friday. Whew. So yeah, I'll catch everyone later. Bye-bye. I always don't know how to end these fucking things. I'll see you all some other time.